Well, my friends, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut about this new project. And unless you follow all the little tidbits and breadcrumbs I've been spreading around on our Instagram account, this should be a surprise to you. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you tons of new things for the Icon FJ. Let's start with design packages. So you're all probably pretty much familiar with the Icon designs for the FJ. Sort of modern industrial vintage mashup, right? And you've seen we have tons of different options and variations, and being the geek that I am, I keep evolving, hopefully improving and adding new things to the design. Well, I got to thinking, my roots are in TLC, which is my TLC 4x4 company, which started restoring Land Cruisers dead stock. That eventually led to the Icon brand, and we still have TLC. It's doing great, doing a lot of restos. But within Icon, I thought, what if we designed a package that was a bit more of an homage, shall we say, to the original design? So like a little more retro, a little more vintage, a little softer, a little less industrial. What would that be? That would be this. We are calling this new design package the Old School. There is tons and tons of stuff that is clearly inspired by the original designs, more so than, let's call it my new school, the standard one that you've seen us do 100 plus times. So this truck is number 123, and it has no customer. Well, I guess it has a customer. It's the company. So I wanted to build, develop, and test this truck without having a client involved. So eventually we'll sell this truck, but I want to put thousands of miles on it in different conditions and scenarios and really get to know it. Design-wise, I'm pretty happy. There's a couple things I want your opinion on, but for the most part, boom, I'm happy. So this is the Old School package, which will now be available when you're buying an Icon FJ. So the beginning of that conversation will be, okay, old school or new school? And then we take it from there. So all the mechanical options will stay the same as far as winch or no winch, Brembos or standard brakes, blah, blah, blah. But what will be standard with this package is more about the cosmetics, right? The whole sort of styling situation. So let's just start with that. What does old school mean? Old school will mean we will run the original style Toyota Land Cruiser vintage bumpers. So that's the bumperettes in the rear and the sliver silver bumper in the front. The colors of those components will be inspired by stock, but powder coated in a higher quality finish with a clear coat, as you see on this truck. Old school will also denote the old school style spare tire carrier, the old school style wheels and hubcaps. And one thing I want your opinion on is the rearview mirrors on the outside. Silver is stock, silver matches the wheels and the bumpers, but I don't know if it's working. What do you guys think? Should I just go back to the usual black, or should I leave them silver? So let's just say for now, we're gonna leave that up in the air and let each client pick, because obviously that'll change in relation to the body color anyway. Other good stuff that's changing, we have the dash design, the seating design, the coloration of the top. You know what? I'm gonna get run over by these big trucks. I'm just gonna pull over and talk to you guys for a minute. All right, so dash design. Dash design significantly changed. So while we're running the same gauges that we know and love and trust from Dakota Digital, again, I redesigned the face of those gauges to reference the original font, indices, and sort of design character more. Then I redesigned the instrument panel as well as the glove box panel, again, to reference the original design. Now they're CNC'd out of 6061 billet and they're powder coated, not painted. So yeah, they're evolved, but subtly. Dash switches. I have them in the conventional Icon format and layout, and you have lights, wipers, fan, vent, and temp. But again, I redesigned those to original look. But again, they're not that plastic that gets kind of touchy and tacky and sticky. They're all billet aluminum, they're powder coated and flow painted. Talk about geek. I even redesigned the bezels for those. So normally you have like a conventional hex nut that attaches, but the stock trucks had these pretty nifty little chromed nuts that use a specialty tool to get them to index. Now the specialty tool can kind of be a pain if you don't have the tool or exactly the right set of needle nose. So I redesigned that, and we designed actually our own tool, and there's easy ways to MacGyver around that if you need to, but just kind of cleaned it up, made it a bit more classic. I used the usual windshield frame, latches, steering wheel, steering column, AC vents, AC system, glove box instructions for four-wheel drive and transfer, tranny, stuff like that. I think that's all good to go. Seats, I use my same seats, but I redesigned the upholstery pattern and the upholstery materials. So these are done in Morangille's fine leather. It's from Italy, and then it has a grain in the pattern that is reminiscent of the old sort of alligator hide sort of pattern of the original trucks. Now, I used a color from my preferred style, which is the 79 and newer stock FJ40, but the pattern from my favorite for patterns, which was 78 and older. So bear with me. Obviously, I took a lot of liberties here, but having bought, sold, and restored more FJ40s than anyone I've ever met or heard of, I thought I could get away with it. Center consoles, the usual Icon design, but it, as well as the CNC'd seat hardware, the inside door latch, the inside pockets hardware, the H-bar, all of that is powder coated in a gray that you'll see again on the wheels. So it's just a bit softer, a bit more vintage. On the floors, we did the same old heat-cured polyurea that we know and love and trust. But for the floor mats, instead of Chilowich, I did a much more traditional Hargarten square weave wool rug, Dynamat lined, rubber backed, and then edge hemmed. If you're really familiar with the brand, you'll recognize that material. We've become very fond of it in our Derelicts and Reformer program. We'll still offer the jump seat or forward-facing bench, but in the case of this truck, we did the old school jump seats. Now, they look old school, they look stock, they ain't stock, they're stronger, they're better, they're made here in California, designed by Icon, and then much better upholstery on those, and they're just goodness. The tailgate on this truck is unique. It's the bifold, which is an option we offer on all of the FJs, but pretty rarely seen, but I like it. Soft top, we're going to introduce other material colors on the old school. So in this case, obviously, we went with a tan color, which was a really nice kind of monochromatic match to my sand tan body finish. And then you'll notice the hard top, I rendered it and it was way too harsh if the soft top A-pillar was black, right? And you have all this clean tan sort of design flow. So we're making that more difficult than it needs to be. So it's black on the inside and it's tan on the exterior facing planes. You will notice that the front emblems are unique to the old school, and those again are inspired by the original 1960s Toyota Land Cruiser emblems, and we CNC those out of stainless steel in-house. What else can I tell you? I mean, this truck has the backup camera, the seat heaters, the Pioneer 8200 NEX with CarPlay and Bluetooth and all that good stuff. It has the modern auto-dimming interior rear view mirror. Oh, hood hooks. We also made the hood hook stainless steel and left that natural finish. So again, it's got a bit more of a retro vibe. Now let's move on to mechanical. There is some nifty stuff happening in this truck. Our friends at International reached out to us about a year ago to let us know there was a new nifty turbo diesel coming to the market. Now, I've played with different diesels over the years. I've yearned for a diesel option for Icon, but I've really been kind of disappointed in what was out there. They're either too big, too tall, too long, too heavy, too stinky, or most of the above. So we used to use the International 2.8. It was a nifty little motor, but it was a little too tractor simple. So then we tried on one project, it was actually for a charity, the 3-liter International, but that proved to be too technical for a non-USA engine, meaning no one in North America stocked not only the parts, but had the scan tool or the service intellect to know how to deal with the bugger. So I simply stopped offering diesels until now. With support direct from Cummins, I'd like to introduce to you the brand new 2.8 turbo diesel. It is an excellent engine. It has OEM applications overseas with brilliant track records, and Cummins had the wisdom to understand that the crate or turnkey engine crate program potentials in North America were significant. So they reached out to us and a couple other shops. We were like, duh, we could not agree with you more. We would love to play with this motor. It has wonderful torque and horsepower. It is rumored to have epic efficiency, although literally this truck hasn't even been aligned yet. It's not done. I just grabbed it, yanked it out of the shop to run out here and do this video for you guys. So that I could make the video go public the same time the truck is debuted at the SEMA Show. So when we get back, again, we'll be doing a lot of road tests and put a lot of miles on it and get a better feel for that. But as of today, the motor seems very promising, and the 10 or 15 miles I've put on this truck thus far, same deal. Pulls great, wide band of torque, even and consistent through a wide range of RPM. And it's not loud. In fact, we test drove the truck before we even had an exhaust system fit, and we're like, geez, should we even bother with an exhaust? But we did. Actually, we did a TIG welded stainless steel mandrel bent exhaust system for the truck and then polished it just cause. But feels really good. It's intercooled, variable vane turbo. Packaging is very nice. It fits in our engine bay very well. We did specific engineering for the fan, for the intercooler, for the intake. So really it's the same transmission and transfer case and axles as the FJ gas models, but everything in the engine bay is engineered specific to the diesel. So high hopes for that. In the near future, we hope to begin taking orders for this engine. In the meantime, we're certainly taking orders for the old school. I hope you dig it. Give me your feedback. Let me know what your thoughts are. We would appreciate it. So, as always, I cannot thank you enough for supporting my brand. It means everything to me. Even silly projects like this that are evolutions of previous projects would not be possible without our tribe. And by tribe, I don't just mean our consumers, I mean you guys that comment, support, keep me on my game, tell people, and just sort of share the love and keep the brand alive. So much obliged. Any questions? 818-280-3333. Website icon4x4, Instagram icon4x4, Twitter icon design, Facebook icon4x4, or simply Jonathan Ward. Thanks for your time. Be well.